welcome back to week 5 of the Fraud Street Fandom Podcast. As usual, we're covering some baseball. We're going to get into basketball, the playoffs, and we'll cover some new NFL news. We got some signings, some trades, and some things to talk about. So we also have the NFL schedule coming up, so that'll give us some more content that we can provide everybody to just predict how bad we are predicting. Yeah. So let's dive right into it. Baseball. So Phillies had kind of a mediocre week. Coming into this week, they need to. They just got swept by the Mets, which is heartbreaking. But the weekend they go, as we mentioned, Diamondbacks team you're going to probably be contending with for a playoff spot. So the first matchup was Ardo against Kelly. We saw Kelly, in the playoffs. He's a good pitcher. Eats innings, and he can just be a pain. Or he definitely was, in the playoffs that year. So
So the Diamondback series, 3-2. That game on May 2nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Luzardo 5 2/3, 2 earned, 6 Ks. ERA's sub-2 at that time. Schwarber, Kepler hit home runs. Kepler, I'm just going to keep calling out every time he hits home run for those Kepler home run trackers.
Mm-hmm.
The offense, not great, only three runs, but they only gave up 2, so got the W.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks again, obviously a young team. They got some offense. Gurriel, he just loves to kill Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Purple-headed fuck.
Peacock.
Yeah, but so it's good to walk out with a W. So we'll see how they continue to do.
Yeah. Game 2, Nola against Fat.
Yeah, Brandon
Fat.
Yeah. Now Nola was dealing 6 earns or 6 innings, 8 Ks. The Phillies scored 7 in the first 4 innings, so he finally gets some run support that we keep asking for.
Yeah.
Kepler home run again.
Which in the past they did not fare well against Spot. So
no, like I said,
it was definitely nice to see.
Yep.
Yeah, I know he dominated against us in the playoffs. Yep. So that was tough, but at least we got a little bit of a revenge.
And then Nola, two starts in a row now. He had 6.
Done well.
Done well.
Yep. So hopefully he's turned the corner and, there's something to, like we mentioned on the last episode. It's like if you compare him with and what we know that he can do with the other guys we have in this, roster.
Yeah. The offense needs to step up, specifically Harper, right?
They do.
Like, we have gone on this, long ongoing conversation about who's leading off and who's going to protect Harper.
Hey,
and
Thompson's giving you a favor, bud. He's just let Stott lead off.
Now our leadoff guy.
Yeah,
he's producing.
We were wrong on that. We never predicted him being
we were wrong on both Schwarber and Turner, and now it's just Stott. So
but I like to see it. I think he sets the table well, especially when he's healthy.
There's always been an idea of him doing that anyway, so it's kind of
it's easy for him to easy for them to break up the lefties. It's easy for them to give Harper some protection with Schwarber behind him. So I think Stott leading off, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but we need Harper to start producing that too, right? Like,
no, we do.
Yeah, like he's not doing great right now.
Yeah, we can't still early him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As we just mentioned, he never gets any flack. But I think if we're going to start pinpointing, how we were talking about how bad Bohm was, how bad Marsh was, Harper's average right now is sitting like 220 something, maybe 230, and he was our guy. Like he's the the horse on the team. He's the one.
He's the face of the
face of the franchise, and he's just not producing right now.
Yep. So and it's not. I guess he's not getting too much flack at this point, and it probably is because as they start to put some wins together, and he's not the fault. Or the fall guy. It's easy to kind of look past that.
It's fair to start giving him some flack, but we have to pump the brakes a little bit because he's done it. We're waiting on some people to start doing it.
Yeah, well, like Cameron said, Kepler's over here just crushing it right now.
Yeah, well, Kepler's finally having.
Kepler's new also, though. I'm talking about Bohm and some others. Obviously, Schwarber, he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's leading the NL in home runs right now.
And Trey's doing better.
Trey's awesome right now.
Trey's getting on base, and it's like so.
Don't like him, but he's doing fine.
So one of those things about Trey that kind of annoys me a little bit, and this might be a Thompson thing, it might be a Harper thing, I'm not sure, but it's like he never runs in front of Harper, and I don't know if it's because guess what, you still second base, they're just going to walk Harper, But if he's struggling right now at the plate anyway, then why not have two people on
Especially if
base?
Schwarber's behind him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Steele put a little pressure on. Maybe if they walk him, okay, that's fine. Now you have runners at first and second with Schwarber up, as opposed to Harper struggling a little bit, and you're still leaving Turner at first. So I'm hoping that maybe they make that change. Maybe they start being a little bit more aggressive with Turner in front of him. But we'll see. At the end of the day, we need Harper to turn it around.
Yeah,
and he does have these these peaks and valleys. It's not unheard of.
236 average after last night's game. So obviously we'll touch on this week, but he's got to step it up, right? Like he's the Phillies are going to go as good as he's going to go, right? As long as he can carry us, we're going to do well. But I think the conversation is just we were always worried about who's batting around him to protect him, and he's not even producing with the protection, right? So like I was worried about Schwarber losing his ability to hit, not being leadoff and being in the 4-hole.
Right.
Schwarber's still producing, Harper's. So obviously baseball players can go into slumps. It happens. Harper will break out of it, I'm sure, once the weather turns all the way.
Head maybe like
there you go.
I don't think he'll ever get back into that. Too much.
The ladies
money
love
in
that.
I was just gonna say I don't think the women will like
all those headbands that he sells.
Probably the same way they would feel if I shaved my head.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. Yeah.
But yes, I mean, again, I just think we need Bryce to start going.
Yep.
And it needs to happen soon.
Yeah. So Nola pitched well, so it was good to get the win against the Diamondbacks, the team you're going to be competing against.
Yeah.
And to close out the series, coming off of the IL Ranger.
Yeah.
First start.
He looked really good for the first 3 innings, and then he ran into trouble. Location issues. I think he got touched up for 4 or 5 runs. At least I think Harper hit a home run. Weston Wilson came in, hit a home run late to kind of make it close. Schwarber hit a bomb. We lost in extras that game, but we did fight back at least.
But the good thing that you take out of that is that they go down 7-1, but they come back. And they're actually, putting runs, as we talked about it before. It's like they're known to, hey, let's score the runs early and then just go on a dry spell. Here they went down early and were able to fight back, and they were right there.
If you look at the social media or the media themselves, they're so quick to say, "Hey, the Phillies won another series," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool to win a series, but if you can sweep them, do that too."
Yeah.
Like there's been some. We always get that third game. There's always that.
Yeah, we dropped the third game in the last 3 series.
And they're just
since the Mets, we've won the series.
Yeah, I'm like, but we could have won all 3. Like, so to see them come back in that game, at least they showed fight. They didn't just go like, "Oh, well, we won the series. We'll move on to the next one." Like that's where I was getting a little concerned. Like.
Yep. Yeah. And actually, so I completely botched this. First off, I didn't announce which beers. So today, sorry, listeners, we're keeping you guys on your toes today. I'm gonna talk about our Victory Brewing Company, Philadelphia-based Witty Monkey Citrus Wheat Ale. So not the wheat ale that Kevin mentioned to us last week that he wants Brock to try.
But I am trying, Kevin. I'm trying beers.
Yeah, so it's 9.5% alcohol. So we'll see how this bad boy sits. Speaking of 9.5% alcohol, Brock, what you got in your hand?
I got a Victory Brewing, also Sour Monkey, Sour Trip L, 9.5.
It's going.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good for a sour.
It's different from me though. Yeah,
it's not different than the Miller Lite.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with the Evo number 3 IPA. Out of Maryland. So.
And the other thing I screwed up on, I missed the National Series. So we actually, on 4/29, Wheeler against Gore.
So I was actually...
a rematch of the opener, actually, Wheeler against Gore.
Yeah, so I was going to say something, but I didn't want to run up the flow. But so, the Nats, we won 7-6 that game. Schwarber homered in the first there. Wheeler 6 2/3, 7 Ks, 2 earns. Kirkering bat again, gave up 4 runs in the 9th to make it actually a close game. Rojas had a bad play in center. He just misread a ball. It just went over his head. Turner had a bad error right afterwards, bad third at first. So it just led to the runs. Then, as baseball tradition goes, Lowe comes up, hits a 3-run home run to make it close. The game was a blowout, but then the defense let the team down. Kirkering specifically got let down by the team there. And then we had to fight back to have a wild pitch walk-off.
Yeah.
And then Stott actually got his hands stepped on by the pitcher when he slided into home, but avoided injury, so no issue there. But
That's good. Yeah.
Again, a game we should have won easily, and the bullpen and defense finds ways to make it interesting. So
the thing about Rojas though was I was saying like because everybody was like, "Oh, we need a defensive center. He's so great," and then he misplayed that ball, and literally their center fielder made like a very similar play, made it look easy.
Yeah.
And I was like, Rojas, that's the whole point that you're even in the field right now is because you're supposed to do this stuff also. And like you said, the home run happened, but it happened because of that play.
Yeah.
Like I was like, Wheeler.
Well, that's Philly's luck. It's like you give them,
you give a team extra outs, they take advantage of it.
Oh, 100%. That's Philly karma right there. So, Wheeler, Gore, rematch.
At least Gordon struck out 15.
Yeah.
At least he struck 15 this time.
Yeah.
So, game 2, Sanchez against Irvin.
Yeah, so Sanchez pitched well, 5 innings, 2 earns. Schwarber, Kepler, JT home runs. I was actually at this game. Shout out Andrew. Thanks for the tickets. Appreciate it, buddy. The Schwarber home run happened as we were walking into the stadium. Got a lot of traffic around the old complex.
Yeah, exactly.
Once we walked into the stadium, Schwarber went yard. So I like to take credit for that one. Also, while we always love to talk about bets, one bet that was pretty crazy is I live bet JT to hit a home run his next at bat. I was down to like $3 in my account. It was plus 1,500. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just throw this money in there.
Go out with a banger.
JT comes up with a bomb.
Yep.
So
that's only his second or third of the year. So it's not like
that was the second of the year.
Yeah, it's not like he's hitting a lot of home runs. So that's a bold move by you there, big guy.
Yeah, that's why I was plus 1,500. And no, it was awesome. I won a bet, and then my buddy Tim, he also won his bet because of it. So it was really cool.
Good. Yeah, good job, JT. Come through.
And hey, I'm 1-0 in Phillies games this year, and I'm 1-0 against the Mets in games that I've been to. So
hey, let's go.
Take that as 2-0 in the year.
So what you're saying is you need to go to all the Phillies Mets?
More games.
Yeah.
I might.
Even up to New York?
That would be bad news for me and myself.
Remember that number you were looking up before?
Save your steak dinner. You got to
there you go.
Steak bet. Where are we at? 25 right now. There's still a lot of season left.
Still alive. Still alive.
They can go on a hell of a losing streak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Play the Nationals enough. So Sanchez came up again. Yeah, we got the W there. And then to close out the series, we got Walker against Lord.
Yeah, Walker 5 2/3. We lost 2-4. Yeah, Walker gave up 4 runs. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like,
a little bit of the Walker as he's not getting the Cy 1 talk this time. He's Walker.
As we like to always talk about, we win 2 and then lose the 3rd.
Yeah, that's basically.
But like I said, the social media, we won this series. What are we about to do? We should have fucking split them.
Yeah,
that's a good stat to look at in September.
Yeah.
Exactly. Of all the games that you,
because you're matchup based. Yeah, I get that, but it's just like.
But again, that does impact the end of the year because when you're looking back, you're like, man, if we would have won 3 instead of 2, and like
when you're missing
with the division,
when you're 1.5 games out or 2.5 games out, and you drop these games because you just can't close out a series,
you
that's where it's important.
Or something, you're like, see, but the social media team was like,
Kirk Green in his 25 ERA, whatever it ends up being. Take 2 or 3 from the Nationals. As we mentioned earlier, a little preview. We took 2 or 3 from the Diamondbacks, which was huge. I mean, again, if we were able to sweep them, which we should have, that's huge, especially going into, into playoff contention and things like that.
Plus, we have them high. We all have them doing pretty decent in that division. So
I mean, I think we had them as a playoff team. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to compete in that division with the Dodgers and the Padres, but we had them up there.
We have them up there
competing for competing for the
Giants. But are they still hanging out up top? Let me check the standings real quick. You guys can continue.
I think fairly they're doing okay. So.
They're in 3rd. The Diamondbacks are 4th. Yeah, 24 and 15 right now. 1.5 games back of the Dodgers.
Oh, wow.
Padres are 1 game back. So
it's close at the top.
Yeah, it's playing good ball minus the Rockies.
Yeah. So after the Diamondbacks, we go down to the friendly confines of Yankee Stadium, Junior Yankee Stadium. Is that what you want to call it?
Steinbrenner Field.
I mean, some would say, some of the balls. We'll talk about it, but some of the balls are like, that's not going to be a home run in many parks. But if you look at the specs of the field, it's the same. Yeah. It's the same as Yankee Stadium. So one Yankee Stadium to the other, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So we open up a series with the Rays. Wheeler against Rasmussen.
Yeah, Wheeler daily, 7 innings, 2 earned, 9 Ks. So great to see him kind of get back in consistent starts.
Yeah.
Getting back to his normal.
He's getting some run support, which is nice to see. I mean, Nola doesn't get it, but at least Wheeler is.
Yeah. Schwarber, Bohm, Cassidy all homered. We had 4 runs in the 8th inning. So
obviously that was run could have been a unicorn home run, in that ballpark.
That was the Cassidy. That was a Cassidy add-on, right? Wasn't it close until Cassidy hit the?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, getting some run support for Wheeler is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Let him settle down and kind of just let him do his thing.
Right.
Yep. Bullpen obviously gave up, 2.
Typical fashion
is what it is. You still got the W 1-4. So
yeah. So game 2, Sanchez against Baz.
Yeah, 7-0 victory for the Phils. Sanchez 6 innings, 5 Ks. So obviously no earned. Shut out that game. So great job by him. I think we may throw him back as Cylon out of the pen
because he pitched 3 innings and gave up no runs.
Sanchez goes 6 and
first save of his career.
First save of his career. No, he's back. He's back, baby.
5 straight Ks to start the game or to start his appearance.
No, he struck out the last 6.
He struck out 5 and then he goes single and struck out the 6.
Oh, I thought they said. Oh, sorry.
It was 5 of 6.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Strikeouts. So the first 6 outs were strikeouts, but it was out of 7 batters.
Cylon's back, baby.
So the Cylon is back out of the pen.
Yeah.
We'll see kind of what Thompson likes to do with him, depending on if Ranger, obviously, like we mentioned earlier, his first start, he was great through 3 and then got touched up. So maybe he just needs to kind of get back in a rhythm.
I'm interested in seeing what the odds are on Cylon.
Because
look at this, man. It's like not only is he a starting pitcher, but now he's a relief pitcher too, and he's just legit at both. I mean, elite. Yeah. I mean, this is Cubs material right here.
He did mention he's a long man. He did say like what's expected of me to be the long man.
Hey,
so he's like
get fucking Joe Ross out of there.
No, I know. So he's.
I mean, at this point, it's almost like get Kirkering out of there too. It's like because he keeps giving up.
We can hope he can be half of what, maybe somewhat like what Turnbull was expected to be last year.
Yeah, before he got hurt. And,
now he's in Toronto. Yeah. Probably pitching lights out like most people do that new team.
Yeah, like your boy Estevez on my fantasy team. Yeah, leading the league in saves.
Yeah,
Hoffman's
we didn't want the Dragon Ball Z guy.
Hoffman's killing it. Oh, speaking of fantasy, you're welcome, Tim. I left Sanchez on my bench for that 7-0. Pitching outing that he had.
At least we don't have quality starts at the stat. That'd be upsetting to lose that one.
I mean, all of it. The 0 ERA. I don't know how many Ks he had. What do you have there? 6 or 7?
Yeah, he had 6 innings, 5 Ks.
Yeah,
so 5 strikeouts.
You're welcome, Tim. Love you, buddy. And then to close out the series, close one here. You got Luzardo against Pepiot.
Yeah, so Luzardo 5 1/3, 2 earned, 4 Ks. His ERA has unfortunately went above 2. It's 2.11
That's
ERA
ridiculous.
So maybe we need to get our guys back and send Luzardo back to Miami.
That's what I'm thinking.
Such promise we had early on.
But yeah, I mean, so this game, Banks got touched up in the 7th, and then Stott came back.
Banks has been good. So
he has been good.
That was unexpected for sure.
Yeah, and then so Stott hit a 3-run home run to make it a 1-run game. Tied up in the 9th on Kepler's RBI ground out, and then the 9th or the 10th inning, we get Sosa out on second. They did a lot of defensive switches in the 9th.
There was some good hitting there. Marsh had a good double to get that run right up front. That's always good.
Yeah.
So you're basically replacing Sosa with Marsh. And, you already get the run, and then you're just trying to add on from there.
Yep.
So
and we can all agree that Ghost Runner, no matter the result, win or lose, is the stupidest thing.
Oh, it is dumb.
It's dumb shit.
It keeps the game quick, but it's absolutely.
I still don't think it does that. It's just stupid. Like it's just I don't understand.
I want to try and see if someone out there is doing like analytics on teams that try to bunt the runner over from second to third.
But they don't.
Well, that's what Turner did, right? He bunted Marsh over. Or was it Stott?
It might have been Stott. Stott would have been
because I think Turner scored the second run.
But even the initial batter, so like Marsh hit the double to start the inning. But I wonder like teams if they're like if they have the strategy to actually start their first batter to bunt him over to have 1 out and a runner on third, and then you have your guys come up to hopefully get a sac fly.
Yeah.
But Phillies obviously aren't doing that. They're trying to go out there. And,
I think it also depends on who's up.
Yeah.
But
So
see, I also miss 19 inning games, though. You know what I mean? You start getting out there and
I think there was one that was 13 innings or something like that.
Yeah,
and there was one.
It's the excitement of it. It's like,
well, you get that in playoff
this game
baseball.
go all night.
I think it was the elite Cubs that gave up 9 runs to the Giants in the 10th or 11th.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was.
This
Yeah,
week.
yep.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously their strategy, whatever the hell they did, worked. So
Yeah, they probably wanted him over.
yeah, they did a whole bunch of shit going on. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see Marsh back and producing. His first game was against the Diamondbacks when we won 7-2. So hopefully he can kind of get back in the swing of things. Obviously, him not producing, getting on the injured list, getting sent down, coming back, and then hopefully starting to hit.
Well, I mean, honestly, it opened the door for Rojas. He actually was playing more, and he's been playing well. He's laying down the bunts. He's actually not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, which never made sense. It's like put the ball in freaking play and use your speed.
Right.
And then defensively, other than the play that you talked about earlier, it's like he's actually been pretty good defensively. And there was a play he made the other day that Marsh wasn't going to make.
Right, and that's
he
the
ran
whole
into
thing
the wall.
Ticks me off with this whole platoon, because it's like you went and bought Kepler, so you have a left fielder, and so it's like now you're still. But if Rojas is playing like this, then it's like play him until he plays bad. Don't sit here and keep swapping him out.
He was over 300 for a little bit.
And Marsh can't hit lefties, so you're not going to play him anyway that day anyhow. And it's like, just if Rojas is doing well, just continue to put him out there until he looks terrible.
Yeah,
then you swap.
That's what Thompson does. There, he does the same thing with Scott and Sosa. He does the same exact thing, and then Sosa gets hot, and then Sosa's still riding the pine, right?
And we haven't seen Sosa in a while now. So it's
and I think also because Stott's playing well.
I mean,
he's leading off. I mean,
now, except for third base.
Maybe next week we'll put Cameron up against the fire and say, all right, what's our stats look like of the comparison of the So we can see
like very few sample size for Schwarber and Turner anymore. But.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like he's doing you a favor. But honestly, what I'd love to see, and I'll challenge you with this: what's Bryson Stott stats? Not leading off as opposed to leading off. And, even kind of combo that to where's Schwarber and Turner. So we can kind of compare, all those scenarios.
We were thinking it was just, we had the whole argument where it was just going to be Schwarber and Turner. And we said halfway through the year, we'll figure out where it's at. And then now Stott's been in the lead off. It's like, oh, okay. Like
we're 5 weeks in.
Yeah, no, I know. So it's just funny.
Yeah, but it's like, let's look at it. I'd like to see it.
I mean,
if the listeners don't know already, we don't know shit. We are not smart. So if they're coming here for news and knowledge,
I know. I literally went backwards in time to go to the first series of the week because I don't know.
Smart guys.
This 9.5% is already hitting me. I just cracked it open.
So I mean, again, it is good to see Marsh back. Since he's been back, he went 2 for 4, 1 for 3, and then 2 for 4. So. Hopefully he can kind of get back, 2 for 4 with 2 runs last night. So hopefully he can kind of get back into the swing of things and be productive again.
Yeah.
He is still a pretty solid glove. He's not as good as Rojas. Rojas, obviously, we mentioned earlier, he had that bad play that led to a disastrous inning.
He just covers so much ground.
But he's just
his jump on the ball is great.
And he reads the ball really well. Other than the one that you pointed out earlier. But no, he reads the ball really well.
People say he's so. I'm like, that's the play you have to make though, because it affected Wheeler that inning, because Wheeler technically was out of that inning and then.
Well, the fortunate thing, we didn't lose the game, so we'll take that.
No, once we didn't lose the game, it was like whatever. But it was just in that moment.
The only person that talks about it's you. That dude Brock's the only one's talking about it.
Exactly.
So, but no, it's good. Also, there was, they came back and they won, and they actually sweep a series.
Yeah.
Because finally,
I mean,
social media, we swept
3.
Yeah, we won that series
over 3 games. They scored 22 runs.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's good. That's what we want to see. We want to see this offense produce and help the pitching out.
And also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there was a ton of Phillies fans. I know. Clearwater, Clearwater's the Phillies spring training site. Tampa's not far. Brian and I have been to the Tampa Stadium, but there was so many Phillies. There was Eagles chants.
It was funny. I was listening to the game and I'm like, is they just doing Eagles chant?
Yeah, you can hear the Eagles. I was like,
There's some people that shout out to the Citizens Bank Park South.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so good down there.
That would have been a cool trip to go down to watch the game there. No, we've been there. Tampa's got some Good talent.
Spots. Yeah.
Good talent down in Tampa.
Talented.
So, but yeah, maybe we'll make our way down that way again. But yeah, how long are the Rays going to be there? A couple years?
Because their stadium
at least this year. I think they're gonna have to build a new stadium, so probably like 2 or 3.
And they have no backing for a new stadium because like they don't draw anybody in there.
Yeah, no, I mean clearly they drew a bunch of Phillies fans this week. So, but yeah,
they don't even have their own spring training stadium. That's how bad it is. Like they're using the Yankees stadium. Like, how do you not have your own?
Well, they do. It's just it's down.
Oh yeah,
it's further down, and I think it was just scheduling conflicts as to why.
Well, they have a farm system too, but yeah, I guess I don't know.
I've been to the Rays stadium that's down there in Florida. It's actually pretty sweet too.
The only thing they have going for him is that really fast kid. The Rays.
Simpson, right?
Yeah, he's a really fast guy. That's about
he's just got to get on base.
Yeah, that's because their main pitcher is out, McClanahan. He's out for a while. So it's just like they have nothing to look forward to right now.
All in all, pretty good week for the Phils. They won 3 series in a row. It seems like they kind of turned it around since the Mets sweep. So, speaking of the Mets, they actually did the opposite of what the Phillies did. So you love to see it. They went down. They played actually 2 series against the Diamondbacks. So one of those teams that we mentioned, playoff teams you're going to contend with. So they won in the first series. They lost 2 or 3. In the second series, they won 2 or 3. So they kind of split, but it helped because there's a couple losses in there that definitely helped the Phillies as we went in series. In between that, they lost 2 or 3 to the Cardinals, which is
they lost a doubleheader.
Yeah, doubleheader. Yep, good job, Cards. Just make sure you beat up on the the Mets and not us. We got you guys coming up next week. So but yeah, no, it's good to see. They went 4-5 over this last week.
I'm going to the Wednesday game.
Nice.
Going on Wednesdays.
The 1 o'clock game.
1 o'clock. Yeah.
Nice.
I may be in camera view. I'm not sure yet.
It's weather education.
Weather education.
You bringing out the cleavage?
I could, yeah. Kepler, look out, man.
Yeah, look out, Kepler.
Got eyes.
He does. Yeah. Our lady's got eyes for him. So.
There you go. But so the Mets this week they went 4-5. So since the Mets swept us, they have been 6-7 since that period.
Yeah, they
Phillies
their marbles that day.
The Phillies have been 9-3. So the benefit of all of that is, going into this next week, we're 1.5 games out of first place.
Yeah.
So the Phillies did what they needed to do. It was frustrating to see them lose 5, but they got right back on track.
Also, I think Kepler's doing better stat-wise than their big $700 million acquisition.
Is he really?
I'll have to find it again, but somebody's keeping track of it. Like, there's some stats that Kepler's doing a little better.
Kepler versus Soto? That's the stat that they're going with?
Yeah,
it's like, wow.
Yeah. Philly wiper there. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm huge on Kepler too, but I'm not that big.
Yeah, no, it's not me. That would be some shit I would do. That's not me doing.
Be like, let's keep track of how our left fielders are doing.
Yeah, and it's got to be.
It's got to be, yeah.
So the Braves, they went 6-4 over that period. They won 2 or 3 against the Rockies. They lost 2 or 3 against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And then they won 3 or 4 against the Reds.
So the Rockies have a total of 6 wins right now. So the Braves are,
and one of those is against us.
1/6 of that.
There you go.
Yeah, one of those wins against us though.
The Rockies?
Yeah.
We swept the Rockies.
Oh fuck! Sorry, we did. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm
pretty sure we did. Now
I'm drinking sour beer. My fault.
Yeah, 9.5%. I'm pretty sure we beat the Rockies.
I don't think we played the Rockies.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We played.
We win.
Yeah. Okay. We swept them. That was our first.
They were
6-1, 5-1, 3-1.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. The reason why I was saying is because we play them after the Pirates next Monday. 2 Mondays from now, we play the Rockies in Colorado. So that's why I was confused.
Yeah. So upcoming matchup, we got the Guardians this weekend. Tough team. They're not winning their division, but they're a tough team. And then we follow up with the Cardinals, which hopefully they're off of their high of beating the Mets. Just play back down to
vibes.
Yeah,
I'll sub in the vibes since Stubbs is there.
Oh, there you're gonna throw double bubble with people.
I don't have to double. I don't have to thumbs down Stubbs as he's batting. That's what I did.
Suspenders.
There you go. Yes, you should get the suspenders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That'll let the cleavage go.
Speaking of the Pirates, thing, so next weekend is rivalry week for MLB. Right, so they have like LA versus LA, they have New York versus New York, so they have us playing Pittsburgh
So Battle of Pennsylvania.
It's not really a rivalry though.
Nah.
Like it's never really been like.
I think it's more of the state thing.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're doing mostly across the thing. But like,
our rival is 100%.
The census is like this is nothing to do with the Pirates. We're not a rivalry with them at all. Like
speaking of rivals, I'd like you guys' input on here. So, who and I'm going to take this over to football as well. But who is our biggest rival in baseball as the Phillies?
I say the Braves. I say the Mets because I fucking hate them.
I say the Mets too because I fucking hate them.
The
Braves, I hate the Mets more, but I think the Braves and Phillies have had more meaningful matchups.
Well, yeah, but the Braves for me are the same as the Giants. Like I don't like them, but I don't hate them. Like where it's like same. The Mets and the Cowboys are the same level. I just fucking hate them. I don't like anything about them, so it's like I don't want to lose to them ever. So don't do that.
Then I think all right. So if we go back to the 2008 to 2012, that was the Mets. It was Jose Reyes. That was the Mets. We absolutely couldn't stand the Mets. As of recently, it's like we weren't competitive when the Braves were winning the division. You know, all those years. Yeah. So now, we had a couple years there that we were competitive, but I 100% agree with Brock. I just can't stand the Mets, and I think it's because mostly they're an hour and a half away. Their fans come down. We see their fans all the time, and when they're doing well, they're the most vocal a-holes you can think of.
I can't stand Soto because his stupid shuffle shit. Yeah. I don't like Alonso.
I hated him before Soto was even there.
I don't like Nimmo because let me walk, but I'm gonna run full speed to first base. It's called a walk. It's just fucking walk. I don't know why it bothers me, but it does. It's like walk first base. It's what it is.
The funny thing is, you say that, but it's like the Philly guys. You'd be like, man, if he was our guy, it's like, I
love the hustle.
I love the hustle. Yeah,
and walk the.
I mean, I think I hate the Mets. The most, if not more than you guys, right? It's just I think that the Braves and Phillies is a true rivalry. It's more competitive between the two teams
recently
than what the Mets have been. Obviously, the Mets beat the shit out of us. Yeah, they beat us in the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. They have our number, but I think the more comparable rivalry would be when we play the Braves in back-to-back postseason years, and we beat them both years.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying the Braves is more of a true rivalry. Not necessarily taking personal feelings into it, to how much we hate them.
That's how I look.
Yeah, I think I was more so.
The Phillies' rivals would be more of the Braves than it would be the Mets because of the recent series, even though the most recent was the Mets.
Yeah. No, I just the historic factor of just, especially when we've watched baseball. It's from that 2000s time frame to now. It's the Mets for the most part with me. So. I mean, then on the football side, I know we're covering baseball now, but it's just getting football. On the football side, it's, back in the early 2000s, it was the Giants. Yeah. It was Tiki Barber. It was Jason Sehorn. It was, anybody else you can think of on that Giants team, but we always competed against the Giants. Michael Strahan.
Shocking.
Yeah. So,
Monty Tumor, yeah.
But I think that's changed in a sense because obviously the Giants haven't really been relevant over the last few years.
Plus, we wipe the floor with them and we take their best player.
To where Dallas is, they're always competing against us, and it seems like when we're good, we're always splitting one game with them.
Exactly. We always lose the game in Dallas, but we beat them at home.
But there was also the weird stat of Hurts and Prescott have only played each other
because everyone's been if
someone's hurt or
So it's really weird the rivalry between the Eagles Cowboys.
But if the biggest thing with football though is because the hate just fuels it so much. Yeah. It's not even if both teams could be one team can be so bad. It's when we play you though, we're coming for your fucking throat.
So, and I guess the other question I would have is, so say you're from Dallas, say you live in Dallas. Do you hate the Eagles that much?
They have to now.
Probably.
Well, yes, but say before we won our first Super Bowl, do they really have that hate for Dallas or for Philly?
Pittsburgh and San Fran.
Yeah, or it's probably San Fran.
It's probably San Fran and Dallas.
So it's I think it's more us here because you have that mix of Cowboys fans and Eagles fans that are local. Yeah. That's more of the rivalry. I don't think Dallas necessarily, other than being a division rival, their fans, I don't think they care. Yeah. I mean, now they probably do, like you mentioned, because we do have 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And they see Dak getting hurt and getting paid millions. I mean, if they have any gripes, it's against their ownership.
Oh, I mean, I say it all the time.
Right. Let Jerry do his thing.
Right. Anytime,
let Jerry cook.
anytime a Dallas fan says anything, I say I don't worry about you guys until Jerry dies. Once he's gone and you have a new owner, then it'll finally start going. The guy, they might get something right now. But as long as
his
he's
son's going to team. I don't think they're going to get rid of
so I
him,
mean, it's not really going to change drastically. But
and he's also
he's
too heavily involved in the team. It's
yeah.
like that the Jones family just so yeah. Sorry for the sidebar there.
No, yeah, no. I mean,
I was just curious.
It was in with the rivalry thing. It fit.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that's what MLB's promoting right now. And I'm like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense with Pittsburgh. I mean, it's like you're in the same state. You know what a good
I don't know what the
rivalry is between Pittsburgh and Philly? Hockey. That's a good
yes,
rivalry.
exactly. Yes, yep.
So especially back in the Mike Richards, Jeff Carter days, like Claude Giroux, like those days where Crosby, Malkin, that was some fun hockey to watch.
Well, granted, Pittsburgh has a way better recent history.
Oh God, yeah, they've won so many cups. Yeah, they lucked out. They lucked out so much with the stupid strike.
Yeah,
I don't even want to talk about it, but it's the fact that you get the number 1 overall pick and then it's like, oh, we're on strike here, so you get it again the year after that. Like, give me a fucking break.
But yeah, no, I mean, so
what do they call them? Yinzers?
Yeah,
fucking Yinzers.
And then also even there's no rivalry between the Eagles Steelers.
No, there's not. Yeah,
so because they were even a team together or something. I mean, there was Steagles 100 years ago, so it's like, why? There's not really a rivalry.
We clearly don't have a rivalry.
Okay, the only tie that we have together is Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
That's right. Now flourishing in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
The 5th quarterback.
There you go. So sorry to digress there. And I guess to close out the division, the Marlins went 2-7, so it's kind of what we've expected. And then, the Nationals, it's like they keep beating on some of the teams that we want them to, which is nice. It helps us out a little bit. They went 4-5, so kind of about what we were thinking with the 500.
Under 500
for the Nationals and Marlins.
Nationals are 5 years under 500. That's not bad.
No, I mean I think
they're still right where we all have them, though.
They've got some kids.
They do.
They got some kids that are going to be good ball players. So
we just got to make sure that we're winning against
Dylan
them.
Cruz also.
They got some good kids to watch. Abrams isn't a bad guy either. So
Abrams, Wood, Cruz,
Cruz
scores good.
Ruiz, the catcher, he's on my fantasy team, so he helps me out very nicely.
Upcoming matchups for the Phils. I think, as we mentioned, we got the Guardians, Cardinals, and got the Pirates. So hopefully, especially against Cardinals and Pirates, we take care of business.
You guys think Libby Dell will make an appearance?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be
So Kepler might be
she might get all vasted out for
Robert. Sweet dude, she ain't down by the field.
Come on. We got to get Kepler's.
She might watch the podcast.
Numbers up.
She might wave.
That'd be cool. Cool though if Skeens does pitch against the Phillies.
That would be nice. I don't think we caught him last year.
I mean, it'd be great. Him checking out 18. Yeah.
He probably would have a lot of cases.
Because he's got a new cutter and everything. That dude's just fucking insane. I love watching him though.
That'll be one of the Nola. It'll be Nola against Skeens, and it'll be 1-0 for the entire game.
Nola won home run
in the fourth. Toyota Rav fourth inning.
And McCutcheon will hit it that way. Some of the fans will be like, "It's so nice to see McCutcheon do well against us." Like,
let's give him a standing ovation.
Let's cheer for the guy on the other team. Yeah, that's great stuff.
Hey, Kutch is a legend.
No, I
loved him. Yeah, we only had him for a short period of time. I loved him.
They got a guy returning. They're just like, I want to see him do well.
I remember when Trout didn't even play for him. Yeah. He hits a home run, and everybody's giving him a standing ovation. Oh my God, Trout, you're so great!
So, looking at the schedule, we're looking at Sunday, Christopher Sanchez versus Paul Skeens.
Oh,
nice! That's gonna be a good one. That'd be a good one.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, and I think I might actually make the trip up Friday night.
Yeah.
So, what's the pitching matchup for that one?
That's Ranger versus Andrew Heaney. I believe it's Andrew.
Oh yeah, Heaney. Yeah,
and then Wheeler's pitching Saturday. Sanchez.
It's like a Ranger.
It's a good weekend of pitching.
Yeah, I got to get my Wheeler bobblehead. I got to put it up right behind you guys.
Yeah, make sure you grab me one while you're there.
Gotcha, bud. So yeah, I mean, we got some good things to look forward to for Phil. So hopefully they can keep up on the let's catch the Mets, put some wins together, play some good baseball. It's good to see him score some runs. So always nice.
And Mets keep winning.
Oh yeah, 100%. Also, sidebar. Cunha, when's he coming back? Anybody? I heard it was middle of May. We heard
I haven't
updates?
Heard anything recently on him.
There's not really been any updates lately.
The last I had read, it was like June, but Let me see if there's anything else.
And also Strider. Has anybody seen how he's done so far this year?
Strider went back on the IL.
Did he?
I thought so. Yeah, I
He
thought
came back and then he went on the IL.
he went like a 10-day, like
What?
he missed 2 starts.
Well, it's either 10-day or 60-day for
Yeah.
pitching anymore. So,
What was the injury?
It was like it was another
Hamstring?
arm. Is a no,
Strider hamstring will throw another bullpen session Saturday.
Yeah, late May. Return to the Braves late May for Acuna.
Yeah, so a couple weeks. But I mean, the Braves, they did start turning on. They started playing good ball. They're only 2 games under 500 right now.
They got good players,
but they're gonna make a run.
They're 5.5 back. Right? They're 5.5 back. Once they come back, it's
it's like Game of Thrones, where like winter's coming, like the Braves.
Acuna's coming. It's probably going to be towards like if he comes back the end of May.
We should take it much more serious than Seven Kingdoms did.
That's Jon Snow.
Yeah.
You
know nothing, Jon Snow. Sorry.
Once it was until the last season.
Until last season, yeah.
Yeah, they just. Yeah, all right. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. So, we're gonna get our pop. We're gonna do our pop culture whatever you want to call it. So the last season, I don't know, was it 7 or something like that?
Season 8.
Season 8. My argument was, I think.
I can't remember that.
I love it.
Yeah. So my thoughts. You watched it. Everybody's watched it.
Yeah, we've all watched it. Watching and making my girlfriend.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So this is good. Yeah. So the 8th season. This was back when they were trying to they wanted the guys to continue to do it, the show.
Yeah,
but the guys were like, we don't want to do it anymore. Like, we're done. We're going to get it done now. We're done. Like, we don't want to do it anymore. So basically what they did was they took probably a good 3-4 seasons and consolidated it into 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it fucking sucked. Yeah. So they literally could have had a whole season.
Remember how dark the fight was? Like, we couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well, I mean, that was that's good. That's good cinematography, though. It's like, and that's the point, because it's like that's what you're gonna see. Though. Like in a battle like that,
Family Guy was even like that's how you know you messed up. Like
it just they took too much and they tried to get it into that one season, and I think that's what ruined it. If they would have broke it out into another 3 seasons, which they easily could have. I think it would have been one of the greatest. I mean, it already is.
Since we're on the top of the show, I mean, obviously the Red Wedding was awful, but like when the Ice King, when he fucking brought that dragon back to life, holy fuck, dude, that was me. I was looking at the screen going like, I'm doing this, and people next to me like, oh my god, he is bringing that dragon to life. What is gonna happen now? Yeah.
But then it's like
he can do that. Like we knew he could bring people, but I didn't think he could bring him.
It was one episode.
I know.
It's like the guy, like they had the whole army. It's like one episode. Next thing you know, Arya kills him off, and it's like up. We're moving on to the next thing.
But I was like, it was just. This is.
Like, but that in itself could have been a whole season.
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
Like it's just
They rushed it for sure.
Yeah. That's our Game of Thrones talk.
Yeah.
Feel free to.
Spoiler alert.
The last thing I'll say about that, I got my mom to watch it years ago because she was like, I don't like fantasy stuff, and I was like, just watch it. She loved it. First, she ended the first season, and she was just like, oh my god, they killed, because I don't want to spoiler, but if anybody. But she was like, I couldn't believe they did that. And I was like, you just watched the whole season in one night? And she's like, I was like, yeah, you're hooked. Go enjoy.
Like, those are great series. Yeah, when it's 2:00 in the morning, you're like, I have to get up for work the next day, and I'm like, I gotta watch one more episode. Yeah, that's when you know. That's when you know you got a good one. Yeah. So, but that's our pop culture, reference for the day. If you guys like those, we can send us more. We can tell you. We can throw it out there. Yeah. We can tell you about all the other randomness that we watch and take our bad takes on that too. So speaking of bad takes, NFL. Pickens.
So the biggest news right now is George Pickens going to Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Trading for a 3rd round pick, and
honestly, it's a good move. Good move for Dallas.
Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
Because they'd be fighting twice a year.
Oh yeah, they'd be knocking each other.
Surprised they didn't fight.
Sidney Brown might fight him though, because we saw Sidney throw.
That's true.
So
I just I'm surprised they didn't fight last year when we matched up against the Steelers. But,
because that's the Darius Slay and
was Pickens even playing?
Yeah,
wasn't he like?
Well, so he was probably just pouting.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So personally, there's a little bit because it's fantasy based, but a little bit of a little bit of excitement. I have Pickens on my dynasty team, so like part of me's like the Cowboys do.
Dynasty.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
here we go.
The Cowboys do throw the ball a lot.
Cowboys
so,
fan Brock
No, hell
coming
no,
through.
my God, no.
Coming
But
through.
do I watch games and go, they get a touchdown?
Brock's like, I'm rooting for a 44 to 38 loss.
And he Pickens have 2 touchdowns. Well, we still won. Because you can stop touchdowns when you're watching a game. So it's like, you're going to throw one, throw it to him. Don't throw it to CD, throw it to him.
The trade was Pickens and 2027-6 for a 3rd round in next year's draft and a 5th in 2027. So I think it's a good trade for Dallas. It gives another weapon to go on the other side of CD. He is an absolute head case.
That's going to be interesting.
That's going to be the fun part because I don't see them signing him. I think it's going to be a 1-year rental.
Right, exactly. That was the other argument because people were like, "Oh, the Eagles traded a 3rd-round pick for Jahan Dotson." I'm like, "Yeah, but he was under control.
We have him for 2-3 years after that, right?"
Where Pickens is going to play for a deal, so you either got him for this year or you got to pay him a lot of money. Plus, you got to pay all the other guys money, and it's not.
And we talk about it like players play good in contract years. So, again, a good addition for Dallas.
My dynasty.
As long as,
but I mean, if we're going to compare the Dotson, like Dotson wasn't even playing really anything for the
Eagles. He wasn't. He was a 3rd receiver, and he didn't even play much.
He almost ruined or almost saved Vegas by getting the first touchdown in the Super Bowl.
But they got down to the 1.
And then, of course, got down to the 1, and then the tush push came in. But I mean, Dotson was really like kind of a nobody for the Eagles, right? So like we failed on that trade, right? Like Washington definitely fleeced us on that. I mean, honestly, but it is what it is. Like we still won a Super Bowl. So
we still have him under contract. He doesn't cost a lot, so we'll see. Maybe they have time to.
So this sparks a nice debate though with Pickens coming there. So like obviously the offense for our division is insane. What's wide receiver do?
Just look at
So I mean, you have Malik Neighbors and Wendell Robinson down in Slayton and Slayton. Well, I'm saying that first. I'm saying that first because that's obviously not the greatest one.
Yeah.
But then you have Deebo Samuel, Jordan Terry,
in
Washington. Now you have CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. Now, I mean, yes, Pickens is the head case, so it's
still a good receiver.
It's easy to poke fun at like Dallas, maybe it won't work. Then obviously you have us with AJ Brown and Smith.
Yeah.
So it's like the offense in our division is insane,
especially the receivers. And it's like you look at the quarterbacks for the most part. Again, the Giants. On the Wilson, outside looking in, and they have Wilson who still is a decent quarterback.
I mean, but the Commanders got Daniels.
They have Daniels, but and then you combo Dak, who he puts up numbers in the regular season. It's just he hasn't done it in the playoffs. So right, and then you put Pickens and CD there. That's going to help CD out a ton. It's probably going to help out tight ends, running backs. It's going to help out everybody to have another.
CD is probably the best receiver in our division. The dude's insane.
He's good. I think it's still AJ Brown.
I still think it's AJ too.
I love AJ Brown too, but CD is great.
More so just
the reason why
the size.
He's not leaving Philly. He just said Philly, and I wear AJ Brown's jersey every week. I love
that's
AJ
Wentz. You just put the.
No, I haven't. My Wentz jersey is black. I have a green.
You got the duct tape on the back that says Brown.
I was buying New Jersey. I'm not doing all this duct tape shit. Screw that.
But no, obviously just giving you shit, Brock. But CD is very, very good. Not saying that he's not a good receiver. I like AJ Brown a lot, so I think I would take AJ as the number 1 receiver in the division. CD obviously number 2. Devontae is probably right there with McLaurin.
I mean
3 or 4, like depending.
I don't know. I don't want to sound like a homer, but some of these catches that Devontae makes, and him literally being 105 pounds, soaking wet, like. That kid is a goddamn stud.
Yeah, he's a stud. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's 3.
I was so worried about how small he was. I always am.
Same.
I'm just thinking one hit.
When they drafted him, I was like, dude, how's this going to go? This dude gets crushed and gets right back up. And he catches fucking everything.
And won a Heisman for a reason.
Yeah. No,
so,
he's one of the few guys to win a Heisman and a Super Bowl and all that.
And a college football
championship. Yeah. So
no, it's like there's a lot of offensive talent, especially in this division, and
it just makes it exciting to watch. Like the whole time, like football for me, I'm already thinking about we talked about. I'm just thinking about what's this going to pan out to be.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, we talked about the NFL schedule's coming out. It's coming out next week. I'm looking forward to it. We can kind of see who we open up with, see where our bye week is. Like
it's got to be Lions that we open up with.
I disagree. Like I think it's going to be the Redskins.
If St. Brown listens to our podcast, though, if he does, if you listen, and his brother, so like he says that like, oh, if we weren't injured, we would have faced the Eagles in the championship game.
Yeah, but
you lost to the Commanders, and then we put 55 on the Commanders. So
I think they're going to put that as a primetime game later in the year. I don't think they're going to open the season. That's why I'm thinking the Commanders.
But like I said, Amara, if you want to talk shit, like we'll talk shop. Like we'll get on there. And,
message us in the mailbag. We can bring you on. We can talk.
Yeah,
I'll get right on there. I'll zoom in.
Speaking of fantasy,
that's it. Yeah,
but no, I mean, I really do think it will be the Lions. Though I think just the Lions have a better draw than the Washington team does.
Yeah, but it's
because they can also throw the division games later on in the year. Like we'll have one at the end of the year, one probably middle of the year. That's going to be a problem.
Dan Campbell's going to bite.
I'm looking at it though. It's like the primetime games. You only have so many, stations.
I just don't want to be the Super Bowl rematch. Don't do that. Like the Chiefs they lost. They don't need a. Don't do that. It's us versus somebody to get it. Like we don't need the Chiefs back in there again.
So, we'll see. I guess just looking at the schedule, it's like, there's been some reports of, strength of schedule and who has the worst, who has the best. And, the Giants have the toughest.
Yeah. So I have it up in front of me. So this is from Caesar Sportsbook. So the Giants have the toughest schedule, which is very shocking to me because they are playing a fourth place schedule. But since the Eagles, Commanders, and Dallas were doing so well,
look at those wide receiver cores.
The six games that they had to play against them, the opponent win percentage from last year was .574, so that's number one in the NFL. Bears .571. That's obviously the Vikings.
Well, it's the Vikings, Lions, Packers, who are all competing.
Similar situations. And then you see the Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, Vikings, Commanders. So you see the two divisions that had the most teams
in the playoffs.
Yeah, Eagles and Commanders were top heavy of the NFC East. And then you see the playoff teams out of the Lions and Vikings
and Packers.
Versus the Bears. So that's why it's a little bit weird.
It's kind of skewed. It's kind of skewed in that fashion.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, especially how the Giants would have.
Yeah. And then you see, so after the Commanders, it's Ravens, Steelers. So obviously the Bengals, they almost made the playoff. They made the playoffs last year.
Bengals? No, I thought they missed out.
They just missed the playoffs. And then they had the Ravens and Steelers obviously were fighting neck and neck. Mm-hmm. Chiefs, Chargers. So a lot of it's pretty much just all division heavy. And then you look down at the bottom and you see it's like the Niners have the easiest schedule next year. The Saints have the second easiest. The Patriots, Titans, Panthers, Cardinals, Jets, Colts, Jags. So again, it's just pretty much based on your division.
Right.
On how your division did. If your division was good.
Well, and also where you placed in the division too. Because as you mentioned, if you're the fourth place team, you're playing the other fourth place teams in, I guess it's two divisions that you do that.
Yeah.
Because you play your own division twice, and you match up against the I think it's another division in the ASC, another NFC division, and then they fill the remaining teams with whoever you're ranked against. And so if you're the fourth place team, you're playing a couple fourth place teams from last year. So,
but so I mean, we'll see how it shakes out. I mean, sucks for you Giants.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck.
But I mean, that's the division. That is what it is. Sure. And those Niners fans may be happy that you got your easiest.
Hey, they got a good quarterback,
and they're getting healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard his Instagram handle is like that pretty boy.
Yeah, that boy Brock. Yeah. Give him a follow.
Yeah.
But so I mean, we'll see how it shakes out. But again, it's we'll see how the schedule really breaks. I like Brian was kind of getting at is I love looking at the schedule first and saying when's the bye week? Yeah. Is the bye week 5 or is it week 11?
Because we had an early one last year.
And last year I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
We needed
it. And I like, me personally, I like to see in that 10 to 12 range.
Yeah.
Because you can get kind of like the first half of the year, if you're competing at a high level, it gives you a nice little break before the playoffs. Yep. and you can kind of retool and get right into that, and hopefully either shoot for the bye week or whatever. Because this isn't baseball. Having bye weeks are huge in football because it gives the guys time to rest.
Especially how they want to do. They want to keep adding regular season games. Like they're talking about doing 18. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
But they were also talking about adding 2 byes at that point.
Yeah, because all the international bullshit.
Yeah, so
which I don't think we have an international game this year.
I have not.
I think we're projected for next year because we go to Australia the year after. Like, not this year, but
I love that.
There you go. Yeah. And they're big over in Australia just because like they have a good presence out there with Mylata, but I think they're also.
Throwing out more fun facts. Fun facts about Australia. There you go.
But I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, we don't go overseas. But
to your point about the bye week, though, it's having it week 5, right? Because we were 2-2 going into it. They completely changed everything. We were
firing Nick at week 5. Well, I was.
Oh yeah, everybody was. Everybody was firing Nick, and it's like it's. How are we losing these games? I mean, some of them.
The Bucks destroyed us.
The Bucks always destroy us. The Bucks always destroy us. It doesn't matter what week it is. They always destroy. Yeah, and Baker Mayfield just looks like a. Yeah, you're probably betting for all those touchdowns, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, we got nothing left.
We're getting our asses kicked up. But it's like 2-2. One of those games, the Falcons game, could have went our way. If Saquon catches the ball, and then we could have easily have been 3-1. To get out 2-2 actually was okay. I mean, to the world in Philly, it was the end of the world. They're like, oh my god, this team's terrible. But they retooled. Week 5 bye actually worked out, and they were able to kind of get everything kind of readjusted.
Yeah.
They determined that they were a running team. Mm-hmm. And hey, let's use Saquon. So, I mean, I think that fed into the success that they had last year.
I think it also a little bit early with the Eagles last year was also like AJ Brown being hurt early on. And I think that kind of.
Well, the Bucks game, AJ was hurt, Lane was hurt, I think Devontae was hurt.
Yeah.
So, yes, we got our asses handed to us, but we also didn't really have much to.
And Jalen cannot read Todd Bowles' defense at all.
Todd Bowles he knows exactly what he's doing.
Some of that scheme, man, he just can't figure it out.
So
I'm not. That's just that particular game. It has nothing to do with Jalen the rest of the year. It's just that particular matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what the bye is. So we'll definitely talk about that. Like I said, coming up next week, they'll release the schedule. We'll go over. We're gonna have a week where we're gonna cover. Hey, we'll go down the Eagles' schedule. Wins, losses. We'll go down Dallas. We'll go down Giants. We'll go down Redskins. We'll get our standings and Commanders.
It's a trading
game. Yeah.
Just like the Phillies playing the Indians.
The Indians, yeah. And the Indians, and what was the other one that we're always going to butcher?
Oh, shit! What the hell was
it? I can't remember.
It
might be the only two. I think there's some. Yeah. But yeah, we'll make drinking games out of that. So you guys can play along as well. So other than the Pickens trade, Kittle, 5 years, $75 million extension.
Good for him.
Yeah. He's a good tight end.
He's a good tight end.
I think every Niners fan loves him.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's pretty much loved across the league. I mean, he does that whole tight end university thing. With him and Greg Olsen. That's cool stuff.
I think Kelsey's involved.
Yeah, Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To a lesser extent,
right?
Especially Olsen and
but
Kittle.
It's just a cool concept how they make tight ends seem like people.
Kittle had didn't he have one of his best years last year?
And you wouldn't even hear about it
because the Niners weren't.
I mean, if you look at it also too, it's Caffrey was hurt, so the offense probably changes a little bit when you don't have your star running back.
Somehow he has nothing holding back this year. I'm like, I call
good. Bullshit. He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, but he had two Achilles things. Like, how is it you have no holdbacks? Like, as soon as you make one cut, your Achilles, you're like, oh,
whoa, man, don't be talking about my guy like that.
I'm sorry. I'm
not. So Kittle last year, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. The year before, 10, 20, 6 touchdowns. The only year he had better was 2018. He had 1,377 yards, but only 5 touchdowns. So I think last year was probably one of his better years. In his career, he has shown that he's one of the better tight ends. He's very vocal. Every fan kind of has an opinion on him, right?
He's just likable.
But Pro Bowl offensive, AP.
He blocks. He does everything that you want out of a tight end. Blocks. He yak.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't go down.
He's the opposite of
like
Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
He craves contact. Zach Ertz runs away from
I
it.
mean, what was the play a couple of years ago against the Saints when he literally ran over the dude and kind of carried one?
Oh yeah, and he's stiff arming people.
Well-deserved contract by Kittle. So great job on them for locking him up. I know that they're running into contract.
They gotta pay my guy Brock. Though. They gotta pay him.
Yeah, you could pay him.
He took him to a Super Bowl.
All that podcast money, why don't you pay him?
Hey, I'll call him up. We got some better, bud.
Speaking of tight ends, the Eagles, they actually renegotiate.
I love it.
Renegotiate Dallas Goedert's deal. So
because I was ready to trade him. I was like, if you don't want to take less money.
Well, I think that's what it was.
1 or day 2 of the draft, and they were going to keep him.
So I think a lot of things happened here. I think obviously they didn't want to pay $14 million for a tight end. So they were like, okay, you investigate trade offers, see what you can get on the market. We'll go from there. He's obviously worth more in my mind, like the 5 or 6 million range, and maybe that's the negotiating chip that they have. It's like we can give you 5 or 6 million, but 14 we can't do. So
this is why it's a perfect segue from Kittle because he was like the 3rd highest paid tight end behind Kelsey and Kittle, and I was like, you're neither one of those.
Yeah.
So you don't deserve that money.
Like, right. I mean, and all right. So people talk about his longevity, and it's like
he misses
a game.
Year.
But for the most part, he does play a lot. It's just he misses 2 to 4 weeks every year. So
it's crucial when you have nobody else behind him.
But look at it this way: we just talked about Kittle and Yak.
Yeah,
Goddard's that guy too. I mean, one of the reasons why he missed games a couple of years ago is because he was stiff arming a cowboy, and the guy came down on his arm and broke his arm. So he came back, 4 or 5 weeks later.
Yeah.
So it's like he's that same kind of guy.
Stiff arm in the first round.
Oh God, yeah. Three stiff arms.
Got to give him one more.
Had to give him one more.
Slow down so I can. I'm like, just score, dude.
See, that's what you love to see. So like, I'm good with it too. I fucking love this.
No, I love that he.
So they renegotiated.
That was great.
Yeah, they renegotiated to a $10 million deal. Yep. So you save $4 million or whatever. You get him back. It's another 1-year deal. It's another one of those prove it things or whatever. But you still have your tight end. Yeah. And as you mentioned, Cam, it's like in the draft they didn't address tight end. They addressed it. They addressed it a little bit with a couple signings here or there, but they weren't those guys. They were just.
You saw whatever.
Calcaterra.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say the name wrong, but no, I'm good.
Alcantara.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a decent guy.
Yeah,
picture for the Braves.
It's great. It's a benefit for the Eagles to keep Goddard.
Yeah, no. But I'm just glad he was like
with an actual tight end, like a receiving tight end.
Well, it's like, all right, so he takes a $4 million loss. He stays in Philly. He doesn't have to go somewhere else. He literally can, he's in an offense that he's familiar with.
He could have went to a bad team and made $4 million extra, and then just.
Well, I don't think any other team, for whatever reason, didn't want to give him the time of day. So
it also depends on what the Eagles are asking for.
That's true.
But they could have been trying to move up in that first round. They're just like, for Goddard? Yeah, no thanks. We're good. Like we'll give you a second round pick.
It would have been a day 2 trade.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Yeah, so.
Well, what I'm hopeful for. It's like they bring him back on a 1-year prove it deal. Let's prove it. Prove it,
man.
So I mean, you stepped up big time in the playoffs, and you stepped up going into the playoffs as well. It's like there's some of those catches like that you don't think about that win games. And he was the guy that was doing. So he was very short-handed, and like I said, he does everything, especially in a run-heavy offense. He's the guy that's blocking. He's the guy that's doing this. So he's very similar to a Kittle in that he does everything that you want to see out of a tight end. He's just not on the same level as Kittle. Clearly, that's why he's not getting paid that. But love the dude. Glad to see him back. So
he's the only Dallas we love.
Only Dallas we love. I agree with that. Unless it's Dak on Brock's fantasy team.
I don't draft Dak, but I mean, I wouldn't be against it though.
Additional Eagles news: Jordan Davis. They picked up the 5th year on him, so he'll get $14 million next year. So.
And they denied Kenyon Green's option, so he's on just.
That's a lot of money for Jordan Davis, though.
Yes.
But I mean that kind of makes sense for the 5th year option. But I mean, he's a first round pick, so
I didn't agree with it, but I mean, it's just like
you can't lose him and in the same offseason.
Right, and I think that.
Granted, it would be in the following offseason, but
you have him this year, but the next, so
not locked up. So.
It's a $14 million flyer.
Yeah.
So you're looking at it like, all right, you pick up this 5th year option, and that gives you another year. say this year he comes out and has a Milton Williams year.
Yeah.
Now at least you have that 5th year that you can work on trying to bring him back or work out a negotiation. And then we've mentioned this before in previous episodes of they're going to have to pay a lot of these defensive guys coming up. Like they have done a very good job of locking down the offense. Mm-hmm. I think our offensive line, 4 out of 5 are locked up for the next 3-4 years. Our receivers are locked up for the next 3-4 years.
The only spot we don't have locked up.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we don't even know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean.
So I think the offense as a whole is locked up for the next, foreseeable future for the next few years. Defense, you have a lot of young guys, which, some of them may have, played out of their mind last year and, what they actually are, but you're going to have to eventually pay them. Yeah. Your Carter's going to have to get paid. You have Nolan Smith, you have Nakobe Dean, you have these guys that you drafted a couple years ago. They're actually doing well. It's like, okay, well,
Nakobe Dean should not cost as much though as the other because
he's a linebacker too, but you're still looking at
you locked up on for a decent amount.
I have Nakobe Dean jersey, so I like Dean.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where
no, I bought it.
Yeah, there you go, Brock spending the money, spending that podcast money.
Football jerseys, I buy. Yeah, I'm all about it.
But so
me and Cameron, back to the football jerseys. Me and Cameron have a jinx. Yeah. So whenever we buy active players, they either get hurt, they get traded, or they just are terrible.
My jinx, I buy a jersey and they play dog shit for baseball. Remember, because you were like,
the Turner one.
Jersey. Like,
I had to go out and buy a Turner jersey. Yeah, well, it's because I had to go buy one myself. I had to reverse the curse.
Right. Yeah.
So it wasn't the stand innovation. It was Brian buying the trade.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. No, it's not. No one talks about it.
There should be a Netflix special on that. Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. It is what it is. We missed our moment.
Yeah.
But no. Football jerseys, me and Cameron can't buy active players.
Yeah.
Or I just don't wear them. Like
I have AJ.
I have 3 Harper jerseys because I love Harper.
Yeah.
I think I've worn 1, and it was after the World Series and he's actually proven it because I was like, I don't want to jinx this guy.
Oh, I bought it as soon as he signed. As soon as he signed, I went to a game that the second week of the season and bought a Harper jersey. I was like, this guy's with us for 13 years. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
So now I have a Turner jersey, thanks to Brock.
Well, I bought Turner jersey as soon as he signed too. I was like, oh my god, he was with us for 11 years.
It's all Brock's fault. So.
Yeah, I was racking up Hoskins jerseys. So.
You got that Milwaukee Brewers one yet?
I got Cliff Lee and Howard, and I got who else? I had another one. I can't remember the top of my head, but the Cliff Lee one I like. That's a nice jersey. Yeah, all my jerseys are pinstripes, by the way, because I don't like the other ones.
No, not at all. I like the healthy mix. I like the Hamels one. The wagers are behind you.
Oh, well, the wager is fine. I don't like the powder blue. I don't like the off-white.
No.
I like the maroon.
What is wrong with you?
I like the.
All right, everybody, please give Brock shit in the comments.
That's fine. Yeah, send it. Yeah, I'll talk shit all day about the jerseys. Yeah, every Thursday, Throwback Thursday.
What Eagles jersey? Like the regular midnight green? That's it.
Midnight green and black.
You like Kelly Green?
I have Kelly Green Saquon now. I do have that.
Yeah. Do you like it, or you just bought it because it was on sale?
No, kind of both. I like the Kelly Green, but I love Saquon.
Kelly Green's the best.
I had something different.
Kelly Green's the
best. Yeah, by far.
All right.
We'll argue all day too, man.
Everybody let us know. Everybody let us know what you like. And actually also for you listeners.
I'll send in the mailbag. Anonymous member, Powder Blues dog shit. Brock right away. 100.
So baseball does their City Connect jerseys and stuff. And, we were down in Nationals Park and I saw a couple of those. And honestly, I like both. I like the Cherry Blossom one that they released a couple years back. And then this City one that has the streets.
Yeah.
It actually looks pretty legit. Yeah. So hey, kudos to the Nationals. I like those jerseys. Still not a huge fan of the Phillies one. I think it's not growing
on me a little bit.
The Eagles, the NFL's doing.
I don't like
Yeah,
they are. Yeah. Nike's going to do something. It's like rivalry week that we were talking about. Yeah,
because I'm all, like I said, Eagles are. If that jersey looks legit, holy shit!
Brock might buy it actual price, not even on sale.
What are your predictions
on the colors?
Oh, the color. Oh, dude, don't be that blue and gold. You remember that crap?
Dude, I love that jersey.
Kevin Curtis, remember Kevin Curtis?
I have a Dawkins jersey, the blue and gold.
Do you? Oh my god, this is so ugly.
Yeah, I have. We found mine at Goodwill actually for like $6.
No doubt.
Yeah,
I fell off a truck.
No doubt. Also,
well, my
was that one of those? Was it one of those Chinese specials
My
before the
Fell off the truck.
before the tariffs kicked
my
in?
Saquon jersey from the truck, yeah.
Mm.
But I have two LaShawn McCoy jerseys also, midnight green and black also. So no, but I'm all Eagles stuff though. If they do a different, oh yeah, I'm all for it. I'll buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Cam. What do you think? What do you think the city's going to be? I mean, it's weird because it's like we don't know what the theme is.
Right.
Like, is it going to be? Is it going to be like the color rush that they did a couple years back, where it's just like, okay, they're just going to wear yellow or whatever ridiculous color? I mean, the go-to would be black. They do that a lot.
But they already have the black.
Well, we already have black,
so that's why I think it's going to be something stupid like silver, because they have a white, they have the green, they have the black, then they have the color. So like, what else would they do?
Yeah, that would be stupid. Unless they did an all Kelly green color
unless
thing.
They would try and do something that's different to where it's like related to the city, to where then you're going.
Then you're like the Phillies.
Yeah,
you're doing like the well. I mean, Nike does the baseball jerseys now too, so maybe they are going to do something like that. Maybe it's a dark blue, yellow, like they're doing the same color scheme the Phillies have
in it or something like that. Like
yeah. And then I believe they had it for the Super Bowl jersey, wasn't it? Wasn't the NFL shop selling a Super Bowl jersey that was black, gray?
Yeah, they sold different. Yeah, they did sell different stuff.
And it was ugly as hell.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah. No, I mean I'm excited because we don't know what they can do. Like they have not. There's no leaks of it. Nothing.
But there's only a couple divisions that are doing it this year.
Yeah.
So it's the AFC, AFC
yeah,
East, and then what was the other one? The NFC West.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
So yeah.
So the Eagles aren't even in this rivalry week or whatever that they're talking about.
If we get one, I'm excited.
The Eagles, for the Super Bowl week, they released a new jersey that was black, but it had green numbers instead of white, like what they typically actually wear. And it just looks awful. And I think the year before,
I think it's probably because it looks fake. It looks like that stuff you would just buy like a flea market.
It looks like the ones you find people like selling
outside.
Yeah.
Have you seen the red Philly City Connect jersey?
See, now that one looks fire.
See, that one looks freaking legit. I did see that.
I've seen that. That's one of those.
Oh my god,
that's what it should have been.
If they were red, that's the jersey I would wear every single time.
Yeah, that's what it should have been.
Yeah,
I think it looks way worse than that.
Oh come on!
The blue and yellow looks like the fucking Union, man. Like,
it does, yeah.
So
it's like
bad.
we got the soccer team playing on Fridays.
Yeah, that's so bad, dude.
I just love JT and his Bumblebee.
He looks like Wolverine.
Yeah,
back there with all the yellow.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see. But
like I said, I'm all for the Eagles doing different variations of jerseys. Phillies, though, I like the pinstripe. And I'm like, keep it. That's your home jersey.
Yeah, no, I like the colors. I like pinstripes. The OG, obviously,
but they barely wear it. And I'm like, this is a great looking jersey. Like
they wear it every day except
Saturday,
Thursdays, and
day
Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, so day games. So they'll probably wear the stupid cream shit when I go next week.
See, that's the other one. It's like I'm not a huge fan of the cream.
I don't like it either. I don't get it.
I would rather have like the red or like one of the like powder blue or the old burgundy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think obviously I'm the minority here, but I think that they have grown up a little bit. The full uniform, I just don't like
fine. Right. The jersey, like the fade, I'm like
with like khaki shorts or jeans.
I like. So here's what I'll say.
If they did the dark blue.
I like
all the way up.
Yeah.
Then it would be legit.
Yeah. I like the hat with the Liberty Bell.
Yes. That's what I say because it's all the blue.
Right. And, the hat's fine. But you guys see
this one. So they did one. The Super Bowl we lost to the Chiefs. That's just all gray with a gray number. It looks awful.
Yeah.
All gray with a gray number.
No, green number.
Oh, green number. Oh yeah. No, I did see that.
Green outline.
Oh, sorry. It is gray. Sorry, I'm looking over here.
So this year they released one that was black with a gold number or a green number, and it just looks.
Well, speaking of jerseys, I actually think this is pretty cool. So after like the Dodgers, they won the World Series, and they have like the gold outline of the numbers.
Oh yeah,
yep.
I actually like that.
Yeah,
Phillies did it.
Yeah, I actually like that. That's actually pretty legit. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's a nice little touch, like a subtle touch of like, hey, you won the like. So that would be cool if the NFL did something like that. Hey, you won the Super Bowl. You get like a little gold outline around your numbers. I think that would be legit.
Yeah,
but so. Hey, that's enough Jersey talk. Hey, Jinx.
We're touching all bases.
Cheers.
All right, what we got next, Brian?
Let's get into some basketball. So, last we talked, a couple series were right up against, completion. So Timberwolves, they were able to end Lakers series early. Brock is so pleased.
So happy.
So
get LeBron the fuck out of here. Oh, sorry.
He's 40.
So the second loss in the first round ever. Get him the fuck out of here. More to come, hopefully, or maybe not make the playoffs. That'd be great.
Yeah,
they've been on like a hell of a roller coaster with LeBron as a Laker. Like they've done it all. I mean, I know a lot of people hate against the bubble championship, but they did win a championship. They technically won a championship. And then like they've missed the playoffs. They went to the conference finals. They lost in the first round. Like they've been all over the place. So who knows what they're going to get?
Also, LeBron was on a podcast this week. Said that they were talking about how like Luka and LeBron. He's like, there's 8 other guys on the team.
Oh,
yeah,
so it's not Luka.
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I mean, the West is pretty much going to be the Thunder or the front runners at this point.
Yeah.
The Nuggets, I think, are probably going to give them a run because just Jokic is so fucking good.
Yeah, so I mean, just to finish out the basketball series, the Knicks knock out the Pistons, Celtics beat the Magic, Pacers beat the Bucks, Warriors beat the Rockets.
That was wild to see the Pacers beat the Bucks. Well, I don't know if I just think that Giannis is better than what he is.
Well, didn't
but Dame had the blood clot. So
yeah, I was gonna say Dame was out,
and then he tore his Achilles. So yeah, that was kind of.
So he's probably out all next year too. Then
the Pacers have a very thing where whoever they play, they have injuries. Like I mean, right now they're playing the Pacers. They had game 2. They have 3 players. Or sorry, the Cavs had 3 players out. Like every time the Pacers play someone, they got.
Well, they're supposed to play tomorrow or today, whatever the next time they play.
Yeah.
But
play tonight.
Yeah. So Warriors beat the Rockets, Nuggets beat the Clippers. As we mentioned last week, OKC beat the Grizzlies. The Cavs, they finished theirs and they beat the Heat. So that goes into T-Wolves matchup against the Warriors. Currently, they're 1-1.
Steph's hurt.
Draymond
keeps getting technicals.
Dude, he fucking
he does that all the time. He does it all the time. But
did you see his response where he's like, they're trying to make me out as an angry black man? I'm just like, you. I was like, you're flailing your elbows around and knocking people in the head. You look angry.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be black. So it's like, yeah, maybe.
Anybody else an Anthony Edwards fan?
Oh,
I love watching.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
So, I hate the fact that he's a Duke guy, but God, it's like.
But I love how he was walking around the streets going like, "Why you all?" He's like it's a vibe. Like he's like, yeah. In 5 they lost.
Like, Georgia boy.
Yeah, it was great.
I like Edwards.
Love that guy.
What you say, Georgia boy?
He went to Georgia.
I thought he went to Duke.
No, Anthony Edwards went to Georgia.
No,
yeah,
my bad.
Yeah, he's a Georgia guy. But yeah, I mean, he's very exciting to watch.
Yeah, no, I like to watch him.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, obviously, Steph.
He didn't do so hot in game 1 though. He didn't score till 3rd quarter against the Warriors.
That's fun.
I'm just saying.
He's just saving it. Saving it. Yeah. So they're 1-1. We'll see how the series goes.
But boy, Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah. Golden State. I still wish they would have hung on to him because I think it would be. I think it would be. Well, you got the Brett Brown, you get the Ben Simmons. There's a lot of things that went into that, but yeah, I think we've already talked about.
How about this?
We've beaten that dead horse.
How about the New York Knicks though?
Oh yeah, Knicks up 2-0 against the Celtics.
20-point comebacks to be up 2-0 on the Celtics.
I love that.
So I heard a stat where the Celtics were like 20 of 100 or something ridiculous shooting threes. All they do is shoot threes.
They only made
they were 15 of 60 game.
Yes.
Game 2 that they shot 100 over the 2 games and they've only made 25 of them.
Right.
Yeah, it's
so look at it this way.
So bad.
That shooting percentage, and you lost 2 games by 1 point.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they're like, well, no, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, well, yes, it's kind of fluky in a sense because it's like, all right, you shoot 30 out of 100, now you win easily.
Also, the Knicks they're the first team in NBA history to have 4 road wins within single digits, like within 9 points total. Like they're the first team in that because I mean obviously they won by 1 the other night. Like what they're doing is on the road is insane.
Yeah. So I mean the thing about the Knicks, it's basically Villanova. It's all the Nova kids. It's the Nova kids. You have Josh Hart, you got Brunson, you got Bridges. You have the Nova kids there. So it's like obviously I'd like rooting for the Nova kids.
They traded for Anunoby last year and he's scoring more and he's a defender.
Can't stand New York fans.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, lesser of 2 evils, right? You have the Knicks fans if they win, And, that's our immediate competition. Just thinking of the Sixers, like the Celtics have always had their number. Just take that out of the picture, right? So can you imagine the Knicks, who've always we've been doing better than the Knicks, to just they get to the championship or they get to the championship series and then eventually the finals maybe over the Sixers and our whole Embiid process talk, by literally just going out and get the Nova kids.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense that we had Michael Bridges, we drafted him. And we traded him to the Suns.
Then the Knicks traded DiVincenzo and Randall for Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but it's just
and got Bridges.
If the Knicks move on, I think it's gonna be tough. Just the simple fact is the New York, Philadelphia.
So here's my thing: we know I don't like LeBron, but here's who I hate right now more than anybody. It's Tyrese Halliburton.
Really?
I don't like him.
He's balling right now.
I don't care. I don't like him. I just don't like him in general. I just can't stand him.
Do you just not like success?
Is it because he was the most overrated player this year?
Yeah. Well, no, that's part. No, I just don't like him. So
he's playing well. I don't know why anyone would have anything to hate against him.
I bet on him all the time. Sometimes he hits, sometimes he doesn't.
Also, you saw what his dad did to Giannis.
His dad's
so
his dad's an asshole.
Well, he's also been banned from
like father, like son. But no, see, no. So
he actually told his dad, he's like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?"
I'll say. I mean, I think some of you know this, but I've obviously watched the Knicks the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So
Knicks fan, Brock.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie, I am. So that's just, I don't like Halliburton because last year when they faced him, I didn't like him. It's just grown into me because here's my thing: when Kobe passed, I didn't have a team.
Yeah.
So didn't have a team, but I'm in a group chat with some friends that we talk about basketball all the time, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So just slowly watching basketball, talking with them, just so I could continue to be in front with the sport. I'm a Knicks fan, so that's where I'm at. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to what I'm wearing.
Let's go Celtics.
But no, I mean, no. There's fans that don't like the Celtics. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like the Celtics. I mean, my thing is, Jason Tatum. They try to make him the face of the league so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Jaylen Brown's their best player, hands down. He already won MVP in the finals anyway. And Tatum tried to pass it to Brown when Bridges blocked the pass. So, but no, like I said, I'm with the Knicks. I'm excited. I mean, yeah, it's 2-0. Obviously,
other than Cat, there's the Villanova guys I'll root for.
Yeah, but I mean, trading for Anunoby last year was huge because like I said, with the Pacers having people get injured, Pacers ran Anunoby hurt his hamstring terribly in that series. Mm-hmm. Then Brunson hurt his hand, and then they were eliminated. So, and same with the Pacers now. They run into the Cavs this year. Cavs are obviously the one seed, but they got 3 players out in the game. It's
so what Brock's really rooting for is Halliburton to just crush his Knicks and they go to the finals.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't want. No, it's probably what's going to happen. We're going to have to fucking face the goddamn Pacers again.
That's what I'm saying. Halliburton's just going to take the Knicks out. Take them out.
Still probably going to win it.
No, they are. So speaking of the Celtics, Mr. Paul Pierce made a bold statement.
Right, exactly.
Made a bold statement.
Yeah. And see, I hate Paul Pierce from my Kobe days because of 09, 08, and 010. Fuck him. Yeah, see, yeah.
So
I hate Paul Pierce. I just think he's overrated.
Yeah. Not sure if
I can handle that
you guys heard, but I know you guys did, but listeners. So Paul Pierce basically came out game 2. He said, "I guarantee that the Celtics are going to win. If they don't win at home, I will walk to work." Yep. And it was either 15 to 20 miles to work.
20 miles,
to walk. He said, "I'll walk it in my robe. I'll walk it barefoot, blah, blah, blah. The Celtics are going to win this game." So, Celtics lose. Yeah. Good on Paul Pierce. He actually did it.
Yeah, I would expect him to have a wheelchair out there.
Yeah. I mean, good for him. Because, there's so many people that come out. They make these bold statements. They make this proclamation. Yeah, steak dinner. It's like, good luck, Annie. Ain't going to get it. But they make these statements and they don't back it up, or it's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. Good for you, Paul Pierce. It's like I wasn't a huge fan of you either, just because of Sixers Celtics rivalry. But you know what? Hey, respect. Yeah, to actually fulfill,
you're backed up your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So hey, kudos to that. But Yeah, and then he turns it around. He's like, you know what, Celtics is, I did my job. Let's do ours. And it's like he's trying to turn around for
maybe that's the walk that they.
That's what it is. That's the walk that they needed. Yeah.
But I really do think it's going to be Celtics 7. I think they're still
I tend to agree. The other series.
Now.
Oh,
he is. Yeah.
Like I said, OG's balling, and Bridges didn't ball until the fourth quarter last game, but his defense has been huge.
That's all you really.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that helps the Knicks right now is that they know that Brunson's the guy offensively.
Yeah.
And he's shown that he can make those shots.
Just a few times though, like there was a few times during the Detroit series, they go through him just a little too much. Like there were some plays where I'm just like, calm down. Like I know, but like, you got Cat, you got OG, you got Bridges, and then Mitchell's plus minus has been insane since he's been back. Like, see, they hyped up the regular season because the Cavs whooped them. So they were like, the Knicks have beaten nobody that is a top 2 teams,
Right.
Like, but when Mitchell Robinson has been out all year, so he's been back. He's in the paint defending. Like,
this is way too much Knicks talk.
Sorry.
It's like we've already exceeded our Sixers stuff.
It's because we're NBA based, so I gotta get out. I gotta get out.
And there you go. So the other 2 series, Pacers and Cavs. Pacers are up to we kind of alleviated that. Hurt Cavs team probably going to get healthy soon, so we'll see. How that series goes, and then Nuggets Thunder, which is another good series. They're 1-1 right now, so we'll definitely see how the playoffs play out and kind of go from there. Cam, do you have anything on the mailbag?
Yep, I got 2 things for the mailbag. We kind of alluded a little bit to this earlier, so I think Kevin might have been drinking a little too heavily after the Cubs beat the Phillies Friday night. So he says, it's easy to kick a dog while it's down, so I'm going to take the high road because that's the type of individual I am. My question is, where does Harper go in 3 years? He's 32 now. In 3 years, the math adds up to 35. Currently, they have a top 20 farm system.
That is elite math right there.
Yeah. So Phillies, I searched it. Phillies have 17th ranked farm system, so not great. They need a lot of help in the field. Boom, Stott, and Marshall suck. Real Muth is already 34. Just not a lot of upside in this team. I think the next 2 years, Harper's going to be taking a look at greener pastures. Who am I kidding? Phillies are a poverty franchise. Suck my big left nut, except for you, Doc. You seem cool. Loves the relief.
Thank you, Kevin.
Your biggest fan, Kevin. So that's what he wrote.
Kevin's probably a Knicks fan too.
Harper's not going anywhere. I think that's clear across the way that he's spoke about everything in Philly. He'll be here till the end. He'll be 38 after 2031 when his deal is up.
Them and I are the same age, so we're not going anywhere.
The biggest benefit for the Phillies was the DH coming to the National League. So
100%.
Harper's going to be our DH for a while. Harper doesn't want to leave Philly. That's one of the reasons why he signed with Philly. He wanted to make sure he stays in one city for the rest of his career. So that's where he's going to be.
All right. So let me just jump in real quick. So my ideal situation would be right now, Kyle Schwarber as DH is crushing the ball.
Yeah.
He's doing everything that we want him to do. He wants a 4-year deal. So if we're just going to talk this 3-year deal that they have here of the DH and everything that you just mentioned, I would love for them to sign Schwarber, whether it's for a 3 or 4-year deal. If he wants 4 years, just give it to him.
Give
him 4. Fucking pay the guy. He's producing. So he will be your DH. He will be your occasional left fielder. He will be the guy that's running like Ted around the bases.
Yeah.
But he's going to be the guy for the next 3 years. After that, once he's gone, now that opens the door to where you have Harper kind of filling into that DH. But I also don't think he's that type of player. I think he enjoys being in the field and contributing not just at the plate, but also defensively.
He DH'd Monday or Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, just recently, yeah.
So that was Boone that was first, right? Was it Boone?
Yeah.
I think Boone played first.
Yeah.
But so I mean.
Or no, Wilson. I think Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson
played first.
Yeah. So I mean, like it will be interesting to see what happens, but I don't see Harper going anywhere. I don't think he's ever going to leave Philly or want to be traded.
It's just I just wonder when do they extend him? He's already brought it up. A couple years ago.
An agent,
it might have been just Rosenhaus, or Boris. Was it? Yeah.
He's got one of those.
Yeah,
He's got one of
Rosenhaus is
those
still
guys
playing,
that's
right?
like, my guy needs money. Like,
Yeah, and it's probably him. It's like, hey, I need my 10% cut.
When we look at it, like realistically, like
He does
Harper
deserve it.
did take a team-friendly deal.
Who did?
Because Machado already
He already
worked his. Yeah, and they
but he had the opt out. He had all that.
Yeah,
so
but Machado
Harper didn't have any of that in there. So I mean, they could do good by him. All right. So theoretically, say knock on wood, the Phillies actually win the World Series. Do they reward Harper with a Saquon type deal where, hey, we're going to throw you 3 more years at the end. We're going to give you, right? So, all right, here, Mr. Harper, prove it. Do the Saquon thing.
Yeah.
Win a championship, then you get your deal.
That's like if you talk about the year that we lost that stretch that Harper went on in that postseason, that if we won the World Series right there, he would have gone down as the best Philly acquisition.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. He would literally be right. If they won against Houston, he would literally be
with that stretch he went on, like with the home run he hit against the Padres
to take
then
him there,
home run he hit against the Colors when he
oh
my gosh, like dude, like
he was on a tear then.
Game three.
I mean that was one of his first postseasons he played past his birthday, and he was just like, I'm going fucking nuclear. Like,
he was on a tear there. Just unfortunately nobody else was, and then Yordan Alvarez to like, I don't even know if that ball's still landed.
Because he's like, hey, Rob Thompson, and we're like, let's just face Alvarado against the same guy 3 times in a row.
Sorry, let's keep throwing Alvarado out there.
Yeah, but we're getting sidetracked.
So no, I mean, So I mean,
that's what we do.
To answer your question, Kev, I don't think Harper's going to go anywhere. Boom, obviously.
I think they're going to extend it with anything. Yeah.
Stott, I don't think Stott sucks at all. That's just
Boom could go.
Exactly.
Marsh is IL trip. He's batting well now, so we'll see what happens. Again, I think
as far as farm system, 17th ranked, okay, that might be going into the year. I would actually be interested in seeing what our midseason, because I think they do a midseason ranking of the farm system.
Yeah.
I want to see what they are, because if you look at the, I think it's the AAA team, they're actually leading.
Yeah, Otto Kemp's playing really well.
Otto Kemp's playing well.
Crawford, if he eventually comes
Crawford's actually been doing pretty well as of late.
And you got Aiden Miller also, and then there's the other pitcher,
McAble.
There you go. Yeah, so like that's it. There's definitely some people up there that could possibly eventually.
Yeah, and this may be just about like, especially when it comes to Otto Kemp and the others, like Dabrowski coming out, and because he talked earlier in the week and he's saying, oh yeah, they're really doing really well here. It might be just bargaining chips of this guy is killing it right now in AAA. Let's see what we can do.
They traded those guys to get someone to help right away, and they didn't.
Fucking bullpen arm.
Yeah.
Well, they did. They got your Dragon Ball Z guy.
Yeah, and then what we do with that? Yeah, nothing.
They let him go because he sucked.
He was not good.
Thank you, Cam. Cheers.
On this hill, he was not good.
He was not good.
Could have been.
Could have been. What could have been?
It could be worse.
You know who was good as a Philly? Hoffman.
Yeah, well, that's not. I'm sorry. We had to keep
be worse than what we have now.
We had to keep one.
They got Little Dicky instead.
Yeah.
So
my thing was keep one, and I think Estevez would have been cheaper. That's my point.
Yeah. But anyway, Harper's not going anywhere, dude. So
no,
sorry to ruin your question there, but and again, Phillies took 2 or 3 against you guys. So
suck a nerd.
But thank you for the beer suggestion, though.
Yeah,
always. And
maybe he'll try it next week.
And you're cool in my book too, buddy. So.
You guys should have a lunch date together.
Oh my god!
So you can actually meet Kevin.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. So anyway, the next question we have is from Ethan from New York City. So this one I kind of want to get your input on, especially now that I know you're a Knicks fan, Brock.
Okay, yeah.
So Ethan says, if the Knicks don't win this championship, will New York as a sports city continue to be seen as an extended drought? Or do the championships by the city's women's and men's soccer teams they won in 2023 and 2021 and the New York Liberty in 2023 count as a full-fledged championship, so there's not a drought, or 2, a temporary stopgap, but not the same as MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL?
The women's shit don't count at all.
Ethan, come on. Stop. You're reaching for the furthest fucking straw you can as a New York City fan.
I will say this, though. If they don't win this
year.
How big
were Ethan, we're at the parades?
There's no chance that you can realistically, as a city, count the MLS or the NWSL.
Hey, did you know the Phillies getting a WNBA team?
Good.
Yeah. maybe we can get one of those championships.
That's awesome. Great for them. But and then the WNBA, those championships do not count as a sports city.
No.
New York City is any sports championship drought because especially New York City, between the Mets, the Yankees, the Rangers, the Giants, the Jets. They have all these franchises that are very historic. Everyone loves them. Well, New York fans love them.
We only cover
everyone else in the country hates them, but it's the big four that matters.
The only victory you guys have is the Islanders getting the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. The Yankees went to the World Series last year. They haven't won it since 2009. The Rangers haven't won it in 25, 30 years, right? The 90s, I think, the last time they won it. Giants, they had the most recent success. Jets haven't done anything. The Mets haven't won it since 86.
They've been there.
They've been there, but they haven't won it. They
lost to the Yankees the one time.
Yeah,
so it's the Subway Series. So Mets and Yankees.
But New York City
was it 90s or early 2000s? Might have been late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I think it was 90s.
Good radio station.
But regardless, the Big Four is what counts. Your city.
Yeah, exactly. Get back to Chicago, nerd.
Yeah. But so that's what happened in the mailbag. Again, I'm begging you, listeners, please.
We're tired of hearing Kevin.
Yeah.
So you hear us deal with dipshit talking about how Harper's going to get traded in 3 years.
He's not getting traded.
Elite Cubs fan Kevin.
Yeah. So please send in feedback or send in questions. Anything else?
All right, Brock, what you got? Twitter time.
All right, so I'm not going to get political, but obviously we know
we're getting political, baby.
Well, I'll get a little bit. So obviously we know that we went to the White House to celebrate our Super Bowl.
Oh, we won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So here's my issue with people on Twitter, especially because Twitter's where I see the most of it.
Yeah, a bunch of trolls.
Every fucking day, you guys talk about we won that Super Bowl, and we share highlights like, oh, at one point we were up 46. I'm like, yes, we know we were up. That's 3 months ago now. Like, yes, we were up. Well, then every team that wins a championship in America goes to the White House to celebrate their winning that championship.
We need to ask Kevin. Or not Kevin, Ethan. Did the women's team and the soccer team go to the White House?
Right.
Highly doubt it.
So the drama behind that.
So is that the marker of if it actually counts?
Yeah.
Do you get an invite to the White House? That's when you know it counts.
Yeah. So the drama with that obviously is the Eagles are going, and obviously people don't like who's in there right now.
Yeah.
But regardless of who's in there,
right?
If you win a Super Bowl, you go to the White House. That's just
you get
what
the invite.
do.
That's the thing.
You go there. The president talks a little bit about you, and then you go, hey, remember we won the Super Bowl 3 months ago? Hallelujah. Have at it.
Yep.
But the fans are so ridiculous that they got mad.
Some fans, not these fans. Some fans.
Sorry, some fans. Yeah. Some fans are so ridiculous that you guys talk shit to Saquon Barkley enough where he had to address it. Like he had to say, this is his quote. He said, LOL, some people are really upset because I played golf and flew to the White House with the president in all caps. Maybe I just respect the office. He says, I did go play with Obama not long ago. Like, he's like, there's nothing to do with
doesn't
politics.
Matter what party it
Have
is.
an amazing day.
Exactly.
Saquon probably had arguably the best season of any Eagle in franchise history. And you guys are sitting here want to talk shit because of who's in office. He's not there because of that. He's there because he won the Super Bowl. He went and played golf and hung out with him. He flew back with him in the helicopter, and then they hung out at the White House. Now you guys want to sit here and go, well, hey, guess who wasn't there? Who gives a fuck? They won the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter who went to the White House.
There's schedule conflicts. There's lots of reasons why people.
It doesn't matter. But but then there's people that suggest that there's a feud now between the quarterback and the running back. Or shit. They voted for the president in November.
With the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Yeah, they voted for the president in November. So they're in the locker room for however long they've been before that. They know who voted for who. They don't give a shit. They still went on the field and performed and won a Super Bowl.
Well, I don't even think that matters. Maybe there's schedule conflicts and it doesn't
maybe. Yeah. But to us, all that matters is that Super Bowl at the end. It doesn't. I don't care what you do out off the field. I don't even care what you do. Like if you do something on the sideline, as long as you go between the sticks and you score and win the fucking game, you're good in my book. I don't give a shit what you do outside of it. But to sit there and argue amongst each other, get mad at each other, or like all this stuff is ridiculous.
I think it's just the way that
it's the way
people want to drive a wedge between everything that they can.
Yeah. And the media is
just what
big for it. Yeah,
These
the
are
media
probably-
is the worst. They were
These are
like,
probably trolled Giants fans that are just like,
yeah, but the media was sitting there going
Look,
like, "Whoa, did
Saquon
you
hanging
see?
out with
Did
Trump."
you see who's not there? Yeah, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? They won the Super Bowl 3 months ago. They have nothing to do meaningful for us until September.
Mhm.
That's how I look at it. So, like, let them do from February to September. Let them do whatever the hell they want. Then, when September comes around, win football games.
Yep.
And we'll
Well,
be
actually,
happy.
it's August.
Or,
Training
well,
camp.
yeah, sorry, training
Get those
camp.
boys back in the
Don't
game.
get injured in training camp. But yeah,
Yeah, don't
Can't
do
be
that.
losing
but
preseason.
yeah, but that's the biggest thing. It was just that whole drama was just ridiculous. You cannot sit there and be so mad at Saquon when he just did what he did.
Well, and
his
I
first
think
year
I
on the
think a
team.
lot of it is, people read into shit way too much,
Yeah,
and it's like
It also doesn't help that the president's like the most polarizing person of all time. So.
yeah. But I mean,
It is,
imagine
but
the
I mean-
president invites you, just says, "Hey, come play golf with me on a course that you probably couldn't get on your own. Just come hang out with me. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fly you in not the airport, but the helicopter that they have.
Mhm.
I'm gonna bring you straight to the golf course. We're gonna play. It's just us two, and then I'm gonna fly you back, and then you get to hang out at the White House.
I don't care what
Have-
political figure
cares
it is.
what
I would
yeah.
probably take that invite and be like, "Hey, this is pretty cool."
Yeah, like oh my god, I get to go.
And
to the
then
White House
honestly,
and see the
the other cool thing, you might actually meet the actual person, not what's portrayed by the media,
exactly right.
and be like, "Oh wow,
Yeah,
this person is actually
Wow.
pretty fucking cool,"
Yeah, exactly
or
right.
this person actually has really good views about whatever. So
they were throwing not to get into that too much, but they were throwing out there like, oh well, Saquon's wife's white. Well, Saquon's also mixed, so like, what I mean, like it's not like
I don't think that really matters.
But they were getting it. That's how some of these people are on here.
Yeah.
They were getting into it like, oh, his wife's white. No wonder he went to the White House. I'm like, what?
So engage with us unless it becomes Trump talk.
Yeah. We're not getting political, but that was just the biggest drama. Since we've been gone, is just like you guys need to just you can't attack the players that you root for every day, and then you get so mad at them that you might not root for them next season.
Well, it just seems like a
Every
ridiculous
fan
take.
that's an Eagles fan is going to be rooting for Saquon, regardless of his political.
Because I said to people on Twitter all day, I said, if you don't want your Saquon shit, send it to me. I'll give you my address right now. You can send me all your stuff.
And honestly, I'm sorry to misspeak there. It's not even their political views. It's that it's Saquon hanging out with the president.
Yeah. Is that right?
We don't know if he's a Trump supporter.
We have no idea. Yeah.
Like, we care about him as a fucking running back.
Care about it when he does on the field.
When it comes to sports,
it does not matter who he votes for, what line he
But my biggest thing was like all day on Twitter they talk about the Super Bowl all day. And so that day they went to the White House was another day to talk about the Super Bowl. And instead of talking about the Super Bowl, they talked about their political views. And I was like, you guys are idiots. This is another day to just talk about celebration of whooping Chiefs ass.
Yeah. Well, it's basically one of those things. We need to be able to separate, sports from politics and all of that. So, all right. Well, let's jump into fantasy real quick and then, call it. So as I mentioned, last episode, I was playing against Tim, and thankfully, because I left my pitcher on the bench, I'm pretty sure Tim ended up beating me. So you're welcome, Tim, for that. Tim beats me 6-4. Split a couple categories, but missing by 9 Ks. So maybe I would have lost that anyway. So good job, Tim. Way to crush me, bud. This week I have this week I am playing Torpedo Ted. Yankees fan. Yeah. Knock him out, boys.
Got Aaron Judge
taking him down. Ah, damn it.
He's batting like
500. Yeah.
It's all that much. Last week I played Brendan, 1-8-1. Sorry, dude.
8-1? Man, when do I play?
We were close on a lot. So I won by 1 run, 1 home run. We tied RBIs, 1 stolen base, and I won 271 and 250 average. I won by 1 win. He had me by 3 Ks. My ERA was better. Whip was better, and then I had more saves holds.
Nice.
So 8-1, big win. Jumped me up to 3rd place.
Oh, look at you.
Behind Torpedo Ted and Tim. Hanging out up in 3rd. This week I am playing hot corner Justin. He's currently got a head start on me. He's up 5-4 right now, so we'll see how he goes.
Nice.
Big weekend coming ahead, Justin.
Yeah. So I'm playing my new buddy Kevin.
Oh, there you go.
I played him last week. I unfortunately lost 5-4, but
look
no
at you.
offense to that man. We're friends. So.
Yeah. Look at you.
But
Taking it
he
easy.
did. He did beat me. So he beat me mostly in pitching. Pitching seems I had more hits and home runs than RBIs, but he wiped me out in pitching. So and then this week I'm playing Gun 'Em Down. I'm not sure who's Gun 'Em Down. I'm not sure who that is.
Gunner down isn't that Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm right now. Currently, I'm up 7-3.
Oh yeah,
There
take
you
that.
go.
Yeah, so I'm doing
So
pretty decent there on that front.
all right. Well, no, this will conclude our episode. Stay tuned. We got some more content coming next week with baseball and get into the NFL schedule. So thanks for listening. Thanks everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace.